You do not aim with your hand. He who aims with his hand has forgotten the face of his father. You aim with your eye. You do not shoot with your hand. He who shoots with his hand has forgotten the face of his father. You shoot with your mind. You do not kill with your gun. He who kills with his gun has forgotten the face of his father. Kill with your heart. The Gunslingers are the supreme law of New Canaan, and their job is to keep the land the way it is. They're protectors of the capital Gilead, and traveled far and wide attempting to snuff out their enemies. They use hawks as both companions and weapons, and training with their hawks is a major part of their training as a gunslinger. They're masters of many different types of weaponry, but their most notable weapons are their dual revolvers that they consider an extension of their own body. Some gunslingers also have varying levels of psychic ability, called the touch. Everyone in Midworld has some level of the touch, but the strongest have limited future sense, telepathy, both reading thoughts and sending them, and sensing objects. The touch is similar or the same as the Shining, from The Shining and Dr. Sleep. In a land short of metals, these guns are hard to come by. Only those with noble blood are allowed to apply for the Gunslingers, and only the most brave, most intelligent, and most skilled are accepted into the program. The few that are accepted into training have one more hurdle before they can call themselves Gunslingers and receive their nickel-plated guns that are given to first years. There is only one thing prospective gunslingers need to do to pass the rite of passage and get their pistols. They need to beat their mentor in one-on-one combat. The trick, though, is that this is both a fight and a gamble. If they lose this fight, they're banished from New Canaan entirely and can never see their family and friends again. This creates an internal struggle for the students, who both are impatient to complete their training and begin their new lives, but also want to avoid taking the test before they're ready and opening up the possibility of getting beaten. Once they finally decide to take their chances, they officially challenge their mentor, who asks them what weapon they choose. The next day, they fight with the other students watching, and the mentor and the student clash until one of them submits. If the student succeeds, they're given the key to the vault that holds their new set of guns. If they fail, they're immediately sent away forever. Arguably the original gunslinger, the King Arthur of Midworld, complete with his sword Excalibur. Arthur reigned so long ago that most of the information on him is legend. He was long ago the most powerful hero in the world. In the old days, he gathered the original affiliation to take Midworld back from the Harriers and the mutants. His descendants include the most important family of gunslingers, the Deschains. The protagonist of the Dark Tower series, Roland was one of the most skilled gunslingers and is the youngest student to ever pass the rite of passage, overtaking his father Stephen. His trial was especially notable. He used his own hawk David as his weapon and sacrificed him in order to win. When his defeated mentor Court asked him how he trained his hawk so well, he responded that he didn't train him, he befriended him. This theme of willingly sacrificing loved ones to reach his goals becomes a major theme of Roland's journey and the Dark Tower series in general. Stephen was Roland's father, and one of the most powerful gunslingers of his time, a direct descendant of the mythical hero Arthur Eld, and the leader of Gilead and their gunslingers. He wore both the Horn of Eld and the Sandalwood guns, both ancient relics forged from Arthur Eld's Excalibur. Stephen was a complicated man. He was completely devoted to his city and his son Roland, and an extremely powerful fighter and leader. But he was manipulated by his court wizard Martin, who had been scheming behind the scenes. Stephen's final failure was overseeing the fall of Gilead, despite his skills. Ka is like a force of karma or fate in the Dark Tower series, and a Katet is a group formed by this force. Roland uses this term to describe the two groups of friends and gunslingers he takes with him through his journey. The first was his group of childhood friends, Elaine Johns and Cuthbert Allgood. Elaine was thoughtful and intelligent, though he was quiet unless he really had something to say, which made strangers think he was slow. Elaine carried a large caliber nickel-plated revolver called a Carver. Out of his three friends, Elaine was the strongest in the touch. Cuthbert, on the other hand, was the opposite of Elaine, prone to joking and goofing off. He also carried a similar Carver to Elaine, along with a slingshot. Both of these friends were extremely reliable and trustworthy, being there with Roland until the end. Describing Roland's second Katet requires serious spoilers for the Dark Tower series, so we'll keep it short. This set of gunslingers included Jake Chambers, Eddie Dean, and Susanna Dean, all characters he met on his journey to the Dark Tower after Gilead had already fallen. These three were not raised in the All-World, but were the last of the gunslingers.